Hello there guys and gals, welcome to Event Horizon RPG. This is a gameplay video where I'll be attempting to make the ultimate spamming machine. Oh yes, this is gonna be fun. But before I start this video, there's a good chance that you don't even know what Event Horizon RPG is all about. Well, allow me to tell you. Event Horizon RPG is a game where you pilot a ship, destroy everything that exists, and collect loot from what's left of the innocent souls you just murdered. And you can sell the loot for money, or use it to create or improve your ships. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what we're gonna be doing in this video. We're gonna be building the ultimate spamming machine. Oh yes! So the goal for today's video is that we need to be able to make a Spaminator build using only one ship. We need to be able to fill the entire screen with projectiles to the point the game lags out of existence. Is such a build possible? Well, I don't know. I've never done it before, and that's why we're here to find out. But before we attempt such an ambitious build, we first need to find out what weapons are we gonna be using, and then figure out the best ship available that can utilize these weapons. Because you see, ladies and gentlemen, different weapons have different projectiles. Some weapons go, haha, gun goes pew pew, and some weapons go. But currently, we are not looking for the weapons that go, but instead, we need the weapons with projectiles that can last the longest. And those weapons are the M weapons, basically the missile launchers.
But chicken, how does projectile duration work?
Well, you see, the duration of each projectile depends on the weapon's range. For example, if a weapon has 15 range units, the fired projectile of that weapon will only last until the range limit has been reached. Let's say that the fired projectile travels 5 range units per second. With 15 max range, that's equal to 3 seconds projectile duration, meaning that the projectile will only last 3 seconds on the screen before it disappears. This basically means that the more range a weapon has, or the slower the projectile speed, the longer the projectile duration is. Now, missiles are different from other weapon types in terms of projectile duration. Missiles are slow moving and they have the highest range in the entire game. Take this heavy missile launcher for example. It has a range of 30 units. This heavy missile launcher M2, it has a range of a whopping 100 units. That's pretty damn good. And then you have this monstrosity of a missile launcher, the Stalker missile launchers. This bad boy has 660 range units. Oh my lord, it's insane. That is slightly longer than my penis. So ladies and gentlemen, I think that we have found the perfect Spaminator weapon for today's video. Oh yes. Now for the ship. There are only a number of ships that can use M weapons. Naturally, we will need to use the biggest ship available that can equip the Stalkers. Because the bigger the ship, the more modules we can fit. And the more modules we can fit, the more missiles we can spam. And that ship is the Thor flagship. This ship is the capital ship of the Koreans, Korerans. Aside from being the second best drone carrier ship, this ship is chunky. It has a lot of green slots, we're gonna need those. But most importantly, it can use M weapons. This bad boy will be our Spaminator build for today's video. So let's start building. So, this is the final build that I came up with. As you may have noticed, the ship has no engines. The ship's speed is currently 0-0. Well, considering that the Stalker missiles have 660 range, which literally covers the entirety of the game map 3 times over, do we still need the ship to move? No, ladies and gentlemen, we don't need the ship to move. Why get close to the enemy yourself when you can just let the missiles get close to them? So instead of putting engines in the yellow slots, I have put large fuel cells in its place. And since we don't need the ship to move, we can make it as heavy as we want it to be. So I put a lot of armor on it, so it can withstand a lot of punishment. As you can see, the ship currently have 2,882 hit points. That's pretty tanky. It has an energy capacity of 2,095 while having a recharge rate of 325 energy per second. That's more or less 6 seconds to fully recharge the ship. It's pretty mediocre, not gonna lie. But we needed the green slots for the automated reloaders. And as you can see, it has a total of plus 1,600% fire rate. Meaning our weapons will fire 16 times faster than the original, which is just perfect. And the weapons. The Stalkers are of purple quality with minus 25% cooldown modifier, which makes them fire missiles even faster. And to top it all off, we need the proper and an appropriate name for our Spaminator build. And I just have the perfect name for today's ship build. And that name is none other than the notorious Permeator. Oh yes, why is the ship named the Permeator? Well, for obvious reasons of course. Yeah, you'll see soon, ladies and gentlemen. So I think that we are ready to give this bad boy a run. So let's find the Permeator something to spermiate on. Oh lord, the name. This Venere base should be perfect, so let's attack it. And we're in! And hey look, a scout, our first victim. And now, it's time!
This is my come.
Okay, it's not letting out as much as I thought it would. But hopefully we'll stock up later. Haha, look at the scout run. Run, little child. Run away from the white ball of death. And it's dead. Alright, more missiles are being launched by the second and there's actually a lot now. So I think that we're ready. Let's call them in. This ought to be fun. Come at me, boys. There's plenty of sperm for everyone. Oh look, here they come. So many missiles! More missiles! Imagine just casually flying in space, and then you see this coming right for you. Yes, the Great Wall of Spur. Let's call more of them in. They're dying so fast. There are missiles everywhere, man. It's insane. Okay, last ship. Look at that. Look at that. What is that, dude? What the hell's that? That's so much missiles. The thing about Stalker missiles is that they linger, hence the name. They seem bad at first, but when you spam them like I did, they become very dangerous. They are slow. Many speedy ships cannot run them. But the problem is that, when spammed, these missiles effectively act as a mobile minefield. You have to keep moving in order to not get hit by them, as well as being careful in maneuvering your ship, or else you might end up crashing onto one of the missiles. And of course, that's not good.
Round 2.
Does this build work on higher levels? Well, ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately it doesn't. I know, I'm sorry to disappoint you like this, but this build just doesn't work on higher levels. There are way better ships and better builds that you can do instead of this one. Hell, this build isn't even optimal. I don't have the best of the best materials available to properly optimize the build. If anything, this build is just a meme build. It's very fun to play with, but doesn't really yield anything useful. So again, I apologize. Now, have we managed to achieve all of our goals for today's video? That's the real question. Well, the answer is no. Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, we have failed in today's video. That is most disappointing indeed. Yes, we have managed to build ourselves a Spaminator ship, as well as managed to fill the screen with projectiles several times, most notable in this very moment. But we have failed to make the game lag out of existence, therefore making the whole video a huge failure. I know, I'm sorry to disappoint all of you again, but it just couldn't be done with this build. It was a very ambitious goal to begin with, as well as I should have known better. Nevertheless, I hope that you guys enjoyed the video regardless of me being a huge total failure to myself and to my parents. But that's it for today's video, and I promise you this, ladies and gentlemen, I will redeem myself in future videos. One of these days, I will make a build that will make the game lag out of existence. Again, thank you for watching the video, and see you guys in the next one.